Hi guys, there's new pictures of Citadelle Des Morts that I didn't see yesterday. There's a new RAYGUN skin on the way. There's potentially some new operator skins for operators that weren't meant to be getting skins. And there's some secret changes in the patch that just came out 10 minutes ago, which aren't in the patch notes, but you're gonna want to be aware of. So we've got a lot of news to cover today. Drop me a like on the video and we'll begin. So to start with here, Treyarch have gotten rid of one of the funniest bugs I've ever seen in Call of Duty Zombies, and I am gutted that this has been removed. So there was this really weird glitch that you could do on Terminus where if you got in one of the tactical rafts and then you kind of nestled yourself in the middle of it and then looked into the air and started spinning around and knifing, and yeah, I'm not kidding, that's actually how this worked. The boat would fly into the air and you'd be able to fly away like you were riding, I don't know, Aladdin's magic carpet or something. It's a bug that has kind of been present in Call of Duty before because we've seen sort of similar stuff happening in Warzone, but this was the first time I've ever seen it happen in Zombies, and it was so funny, and it's now been patched, which I think sucks. They've also fixed the thing where if you use the default scope on a weapon, then you'd get an extra attachment slot. That's gone now. You don't get that extra attachment pip anymore. And an issue where your multiplayer loadout would be appearing in the Zombies loadout screen. That's also fixed. And this next one is kind of sus. I'm kind of curious about how Treyarch are operating here because they say in their patch notes, they have closed an exploit that allowed field upgrade augments to persist longer than their intended duration. But the weird thing is that this seems to dovetail a little bit with one of the stealth patches that they've done, which nerfs Ether Shroud. So before we actually talk about the Ether Shroud stealth nerf, what exactly are Treyarch referring to when they say that the field upgrade augment effects persisted beyond their intended duration? Like, what is that? What was that? What's shorter now? I mean, we're gonna have to all jump into game and do some testing. I would love to hear any reports that you guys have about what they've patched or nerfed with this in the comments down below. But with Ether Shroud specifically, just before this patch came out, the MC Zombie Slayer tweeted to say that the default time for Ether Shroud's duration has been nerfed from 10 seconds to just 8. And this is extra rough because you can't do anything in the first several seconds of pulling out an Ether Shroud because you've got that stupid water pistol in your hand and it stops you from shooting or from activating the valve on the Liberty Falls valve step. Like, it's just in the way. So it really sucks to have this nerf there. And again, it's another instance where I wish Treyarch would give context behind why they're making the decisions that they are, instead of secretly nerfing something yesterday with no patch notes, and then today not providing any context for why that change was made yesterday or what. Like, talk to us. That would be really, really beneficial for overall community cohesion, getting behind these changes that you're making. Another thing that they have stealth fixed, which they did not include in the patch notes, and I don't know why, was pointed out by Stanley557, and he said that Richtofen is the worst character in... I'm kidding. He said that the Dying Wish recharges glitch has also been secretly fixed. So the way this worked is you could use Dying Wish in a game and you only get 3 charges of it normally, but you could then save and quit and then reload in and your Dying Wish uses would be refreshed so you could keep using it continuously. But that's patched now. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have patched that, like it was a glitch that they had every right to patch. Don't get me wrong. So in that scenario, yeah, patch away, but it would be really awesome if it was mentioned in the patch notes so that we were aware. But then in a scenario where it's just Ether Shroud being nerfed, that's where I'm like, give us some context. I think that would be awesome. Next, something that I just totally missed yesterday was the fact that aftermarket parts are coming back. So first of all, there's 7 new weapons coming in Season 1. The Krieg Assault Rifle, Sorg SMG, Maelstrom Shotgun, AMR Sniper, Siren Special Weapon, Power Drill Melee Weapon, and Cleaver Melee Weapon. We're also getting 4 special weapon attachments. One is 12 gauge Dragon's Breath coming for shotguns. Then there's 2 burst fire conversions, one for the XM4, one for the Compact 92, and there's a buffer weight stock, which is coming for the XM4, XMG, and DM10. And these could completely change how these weapons work in Zombies, so make sure you subscribe so that when I post testing videos of all of those, you don't miss them. There's also a holiday-themed Nuketown map coming, which I completely missed, and maybe this is finally going to allow us to solve the Nuketown Easter egg, because there's been a Nuketown Easter egg every every year since Nuketown first came out all those years ago, and the community cannot solve it this year. Like, it's just not activatable seemingly, because you try and shoot the heads off all the mannequins, and a few of the mannequins cannot have their heads shot off, and there's no other way to seemingly do anything with them. So you're probably just as confused about this as I am, like, why can't we do it? But maybe it's being saved for the release of the seasonal Nuketown, perhaps. Next, let's talk about the new Raygun skin I mentioned at the start, except this isn't just a new Raygun skin. This is actually Weaver as an interdimensional vending machine repairman wielding a pack-a-punched, souped-up Wonderwaff cross with an XM4, who also has a custom Raygun skin. This is one of the craziest packs for zombies I've seen in a long time. So it's called the IDEAD Mastercraft Bundle, and that stands for Interdimensional Exploration and Diagnostics. IDEAD. So you get the Gumball Ballistics XM4, that's what that's called, that Mastercraft. And then you get the Repairman skin for Weaver, who has perk cans or perk juice, it looks like, or something, strapped to him. You then get the Big Boomer Marine SP shotgun blueprint, a Spaceman gun charm, a Juggernaut emote, Cosmic Cloud spray, back alley loading screen, popper decal, and it comes with a Perkaholic Ultra Gobblegum, but the crowning jewel of it all is the Zaptastic Raygun blueprint, which you can see just here. There's also these bundles coming. One's the Kick Some Brass Mastercraft Ultra skin, another is the Liquidator Tracer Pack bundle, and the third is the Tracer Pack Parasite Warrior Ultra skin. So let me know out of these four which you think looks the coolest. I'll be checking the comments section. Now, we just mentioned Gobblegums. Speaking of Gobblegums, Treyarch announced that there are new Gobbles that are going to be coming out in Season 1 in addition to the, I don't know, 24 or something Gobbles that we have in the game already so far. And we now know the rarities of these Gobbles. There's one Whimsical, which is still rumored to be Quacknarok. There is one Rare, and there is one Ultra. So I'm really excited to see what that Ultra does, because right now I feel like the Ultras in the game are a little underwhelming in places. So it'd be really cool to see some Ultras that, like, are crazy good. Now, some more Zombies news that dropped overnight, and by overnight, I really mean overnight. It was like, I don't know, 5 a.m. or something when it came out. I don't know why. But the Zombies soundtrack for Black Ops 6 is now on Spotify. So you can listen to all of Brian Chewy and Kevin Sherwood and Colin Ayers, I'm sure, and the rest of the audio team shredding it up on all the songs that they've made for this year's game on Spotify at your leisure now, which I love. I love the fact that that's there and it's so accessible, especially because I think the soundtrack this year slaps, to be honest. I think the audio team have just crushed it. So that's on Spotify. And there's the Replacer Tracer Pack, which you can see here. And this one's crazy, the Draconic Forge, which looks just insane. So moving back to operators for a second, I mentioned earlier that there were some operators that seemed to be getting skins that just shouldn't be getting skins, or we didn't think they were going to be getting skins. Basically, this was pointed out to me by Margwa, but if you look in the games menu right now, in the operators tab, you can see that there's a little icon hovering over Klaus and over Brutus, which says that they have multiple skins available. But the problem is that they're meant to just be their base skin. They're not meant to have extra stuff there. So it seems like what Call of Duty might be aiming to do is to incentivize people to upgrade to the Vault Edition to get those Vault operators to then buy the extra skins that are built specifically for those Vault operators. Maybe. Either that, or they're just going to make it so that you can't get the base skins if you don't have the Vault Edition, but you can get the other skins if you have the regular version of the game. Maybe that's their plan. Either way, it seems like more skins are on the way for those characters, which I think is pretty cool, because I think they're both a good addition to the operator arsenal. Now, in terms of Citadelle Des Morts, the reaction has been insane so far. People are so hyped for this. My Twitter has been popping off like crazy. My Instagram reels about this, my TikToks about this, they've all been going bananas, and it's a really positive sign that people are able to be so positive about zombies right now and not like feel guilty about it. Like, it's so nice that there's just loads of people on Twitter having a good time. Like, that's a great sign. And yesterday, in my hype of just covering that initial image, I actually didn't see that there were two other promotional images that were also released at the same time that feature slightly different views of the map. And there's some detail here that I think is really worth calling out. So first of all, we've been talking about it as like, yeah, it's Dar Reisendrache, that's sick, but we didn't really pay enough attention to the detail that it's a village as well. Like, this is not just the castle itself. This is the castle, but then it's the surrounding area, because Call of Duty has so much better tech these days to make maps larger, and so they can expand and give us essentially the town below DE as well as DE itself, which is such a wild thought. Like, it's not just going to be a tram station and a castle. It's going to be a castle and the castle grounds and the keep and the this and the that. Like, there's going to be so many regions to this map, it sounds like. And these promotional pictures help give you some of that scale. So we can see a different version of the castle parapets here. We can see the entrance to it as well, which you presumably in the map will be able to exit out of. And actually, if you peek through here, you can see a gobblegum machine just hanging out as well. And something which I didn't pay enough attention to yesterday at all is that the new enemy type, low-key, looks like a cross between one of the frogs from Attack of the Radioactive Thing and an extinction alien, like a cryptid. What the hell? A Treyarch planning to bring back Chaos and also make extinction canon? Like, that would be unbelievable. That would be so insane if they're searching for the Chaos storyline and they go to Avalon and they're like, oh my god, we didn't find the Chaos storyline, we found the extinction storyline. Like, how nuts would that be? So Treyarch, if you're doing that, that's freaking insane. I guess you guys are gonna have to stay subscribed so you don't miss all that content that's inevitably gonna be coming over the next couple of months. So hit the button and I'll see you next time.